What do you regularly play EToH on? You either play on mobile, PC, or console. If you play on mobile, you pretty much have one option to play with, the joystick. I mean, there's literally no other choice to choose from. But what if I told you there was a second option? All you have to do is press menu, then settings, and then you'll get the option to select a dpad. This is usually used for tight ropes. I didn't really think much of this until one day before bed, I had a thought. How far can I get in EToH with just dpad? Oh! Oh, god damn it. There are only 2 rules to this challenge, and they're pretty obvious. Number 1, I can literally only use d-pad. I think it wouldn't make sense if I use joystick for this challenge when it's literally called d-pad only challenge. And second, obviously no boost items. All of these have to be completely legit. Skips are allowed, but no boost items. With that out of the way, we can finally start this challenge. I made a new account and joined up EToH. Then I got to work. First up was Tavern Only Simple Trials, and this was a good opportunity to get used to the controls. Speaking of the controls, I don't think I've ever been this uncomfortable playing EToH in my whole life. Especially when I intend on going to the right, but then I accidentally go to the top right. It's very frustrating when that happens. Other than that, I didn't have any problems with this tower. Well, I guess that makes sense because it's literally the easiest tower in the game. So it wasn't long to get our first tower point. GG. The next tower I tried was Tower of Anger. This tower is slightly easier than Tavern Only Simple Trials, so I did not have any issues on this tower either. Seriously, I bet a skibbity toilet obby is harder than this tower. Now it was time for Tower of Madness. This is the first tower that I actually had fails on. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I changed my avatar because bro, this old avatar is so trash. Anyways, I started off the tower pretty smoothly, but then I got bad luck on floor 5. Then this happened on floor 7. I promise that was not on purpose. Then when I got back up, this happened. But after that fail, I ended up beating it, so GG. I decided to skip TONI and just jump straight to TOH because I thought I was ready. Our first obstacle was this weird truss thing. It looks easy, but with D-pad, you have to arrange your fingers in a weird way. Next were these stick-out wraps on floor 7. I very much overestimated these. These are actually a lot easier than they look. Also here we were introduced to one of our biggest obstacles during this challenge, tight ropes. Although the D-pad is supposed to make tight ropes easier, that's only if the tight rope is aligned. If the tight rope is tilted in any way and not aligned, that means we're going to have to go a lot slower to make it across. Next we have this outside, which is totally impossible to fail. Finally, it was time for floor 10. I decided to take this skip even though I didn't know if I knew how to do it with D-pad. I decided to take my chances, and I was fine. And just like that, Tower of Heck was completed with D-pad. I'm gonna be honest, I love and hate this tower at the same time. It's fun, but the length just makes it boring, especially when you've re-beaten it like 1,000 times. The tower was easy until I ran into this on floor 3, tilted tight ropes. Remember how I said back in TOH that tight ropes are actually harder with D-pad if they're tilted? This is a perfect example. But once I thought I just escaped the tight rope hell, this happened. I'm so good at this game, I know. Here's another clip of me being a total idiot. Anyway, I made it to the blue side. To be honest, nothing else in this run was very notable. Anyway, we beat the tower. My final tower in Ring 1 for this episode was Tower of Keyboard Eating. I was actually very nervous to attempt this tower because in the beginning of the challenge I tried doing this tower and this happened on floor 6. And no, I did not make it back in the same day. The first obstacle I faced was this weird jump on floor 3. It's very easy to flat side here, but I managed to do it first try. Floor 4 was a breeze, but then floor 5, the creator decided that his favorite clown object was the conveyor, so he spent it all over his floor. great. This part was especially hard. My strategy was to just hold forward and tilt my camera until I got to the edge. Made it to floor 6 outside. Even though this is easy, my nerves could mess me up on any moment, which would send me all the way back to floor 1, which would cause me to restart the whole entire tower. I made it back to my PB, which was a spinner. This time I made sure to time it perfectly and was definitely hoping not to fall. Just looking back at this clip just makes me think how bad of a strategy that was, but at least I got past my PB, so that's what counts. I made it to floor 7, but then I decided to not be good at obbies for 3 seconds and I fell off. Luckily I didn't have to redo the spinner and I got back pretty fast. And just when things were going well again, this happened. Why? Anyway, floor 10 was pretty easy. The only hard part was the final tightrope, so other than that, it was a breeze. And that concludes all the Ring 1 towers for this part. Anyways, it was finally time to go to our next area, Forgotten Ridge. First up was Steeple of Meaningless Decisions, and I don't think it's any surprise that I first tried this. I like this steeple a lot because it's easy and it actually keeps the gameplay fun. GG. My next steeple I had to complete was Steeple of Pursuit. I like this steeple usually, but with D-pad, I hated it. I found the steeple quite difficult because I needed time to set up my jumps before I actually did them, especially because I was still getting used to the D-pad. Anyway, run number 1 did not last long because I had to go AFK mid-run. I made more progress on run number 2, but then I slipped and I got soft-locked. In run number 3, I found out that you could jump over the speed disabler, which made some jumps a lot easier for me to do. But that would come back to bite me, as on floor 5 it made doing some of the jumps a lot more strategic. But it wasn't too bad, luckily, and I was able to beat Steeple of Pursuit. Next up was Steeple of Low Woe. This actually turned out to be a little harder than I expected because I kept loot failing floor 1 and 2. But once I passed floor 2, then the gameplay started to get a little easier on me. Next was Steeple of Uninstalling Roblox. I honestly thought that I was going to have a lot of trouble on this steeple, but surprisingly I only beat it second try. I also encountered my first thin stud, one of many to go. Yay. Then came this rap. I honestly don't know how I first tried this. Also on this ladder I couldn't just climb to the top, so I had to walk and jump on the ladder. Again, I have no idea how I first tried this tower, but GG I guess. Now is finally time for the final steeple of this episode. Not only was it the final one, but probably the hardest thing I had to beat during this challenge. First challenge came on floor 3 with this truss. I had to be careful because if I failed it, then I would have been sent all the way back to 1. Floor 4 was definitely the hardest floor, especially because on these weird falling platforms, one of them is a conveyor that launches you, and I could not find a consistent strategy to do it. When I finally got past that stupid conveyor, this was my reaction.
Oh, I did it. Okay,
I managed to first try floor 6 and I beat it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in part 2.